If we go back to the day, the 29th of April, when Cook arrived here and his crew on board the Endeavour in Botany Bay, if we look at the sequences of events that led us to where we are today, within 15 minutes of stepping ashore, they fired bullets. They fired the musket at 2 Aboriginal men, 2 warriors, who were only protecting their home.
I'm here today to call on the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology and Cambridge University to finally give back the Weagle spears that belong back home to my people.
Shine on Cambridge Uni! Shine on Cambridge Uni!
In this building right here, there are 4 spears, and they were taken on the first day of Cook's arrival in 1770, and they were taken by musket fire.
I've got, as close as we can, get to a recreation of the spears that were taken from Kamei Botany Bay in 1770. The process wasn't just about making something quickly, it was trying to get it right from the beginning. What materials are on that site where these spears were taken that would have been used? Selecting the right timber, looking at the photos and trying to do our best. The old people used different things for their tips: kangaroo bones, fish bones, stingray barbs, echidna quills, shells were used, but depending what was available at the time, there's a combination of materials in there. We've got grass tree resin, we've got sap out of a tree, and then we've liquefied it with another gum and melted it down and slowly heated it so it would become a syrupy paste, and then put it on there, but it's set as hard as any glue we'll ever buy out of Bunnings.
I first heard about these spears when Rodney Kelly spoke at our museum back in like 2016, 2017, when he was starting his campaign to repatriate the Weagle shield. And I found out about the spears and just the incredible story of these 50 spears that were picked up by Captain Cook off the Bay of Kamei, Botany Bay. And it's just been a real journey piecing together what were they made from, what are the different types of spears. I mean, these fishing spears would have maintained generations of people right on the banks here of Sydney Harbour. So, you know, there's just so many elements to the story that need to be relearned, little clues and pieces of the puzzle that need to be tracked down about the story of these spears, even as we were making with them with Uncle Dean this morning. Ideas are popping into Dean's head about, oh, actually, you'd dig deeper into the shaft here, you wouldn't put them on the outside, you wouldn't do this or that. Just the process of making and the craftsmanship that goes into them is like all these ideas and all these ancient knowledges seem to come back to people as they're practicing them.
You can't just like grab any ingredients just to make a simple tool. Like in Aboriginal culture, like we take respect in what we use. For example, if we hunt an animal, we have to use all of its remains without wasting it. So like it gave me a lot of thought, like how we made tools to survive back in the old days. And like now, like I appreciate how my culture still lives. Yeah, I reckon they should like let other kids experience this, you know? Because like a lot of kids feel missed out and like they feel something's lost because they don't understand anything about themselves. So like I reckon all students should be able to experience this.
The old people made them properly. They never had machinery, but they were very technically advanced in the way they would make these things because they made them to last. We didn't try to make these identical, but we did our best in bringing it together to bring people together as well. I think that was a big part of it. And look, here they are now. We just put them through ceremony, which was important. That was all part of it. They couldn't leave this land. They couldn't go on the journey they were going to go on until the right ceremonial process was taken to send them on that voyage. They've now been protected through ceremony until they come back. And people witness that. And, you know, some of those people weren't Aboriginal, but the gratitude that they showed after that happened through doing ceremony and including them is part of bringing people together, part of the conversation, part of moving forward in this country and not being afraid to do what we need to do to make that happen. So these are a tool to be able to sit and talk and share our opinions, our views, and look at what we need to do to move forward as a country. Because my old people never signed a contract for this country. They never signed a contract so we can have things like reconciliation. We still need to enter into a contract.
Let's begin the healing and let's do the right thing. And finally, return the Weagle spears that were wrongfully taken from my people. Oh, they mean so much to us. They're so significant. They're the first things that were taken from us, and they connect us to who we are. You know, they tell me who I am and where I come from. And for that to do that to somebody, you know, that's very powerful. For somebody who doesn't know where they come from, to finally find out that there's spears here that connect me to who I am, and that's a very powerful thing. And you know, that's why I fight so hard, because it connects me to people thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, the oldest surviving culture in the world.